And the first pitch by Bremer is beamed out to right field, and O'Donnell takes the single. Off to a good start so far batting-wise for the Wildcats as they get a hit early, and that's their guy, O'Donnell.
That's what O'Donnell does to you. That .338 batting average coming in today, one of the highest on the team. He's been a really good part out of the leadoff spot. You need leadoff guys to be able to get on base. And that's exactly what he does.
Yeah, leads the team in walks with 12 so far this season, and second in hits with 23. One pitch, one hit. Bremer throws another one. That one's bounced over to second place. Dones flips it over to the shortstop, and that ball sails too high, but the Hoosiers will get the force out at second base.
And it looks to me like Northwestern's almost taking the advice I had for the Hoosiers here. They're really trying to jump on Bremer early. He's been throwing only a few pitches, and then they've been trying to really get to him there. A good turn, but just a little bit of high throw, but they get the lead runner. That's what matters. Yeah,
Bremer's solid as a starter so far this season. Right now 3-1, but 2 pitches, 2 hits, but 1 out for Indiana as the Wildcats are starting off hot from behind the plate. Man on first base. First pitch is away, and it's low. That's going to be a ball. J.B. Shears hitting for the Wildcats right now, has the highest batting average on the team as he beams that one down the third baseline, but it'll go foul, 1-1. Talking a little about B. Shears, recently he was hot with the Wildcats. He had 11 hits as he hit .579 against SIU and Butler. And this Wildcats team has been hot in general.
Yeah, I mean, you said, look at that average, 400 on the season. They've got 4 guys hitting above 300. A little bit of pop in their team, not the most, but they can get on base and they can nickel and dime you throughout the season.
Second pitch is a ball, 2-1 count for Bremer with a man on first, 1 out. Fourth pitch on the way and catches him swinging, gets nothing but air. Ties it up, 2-2 count.
Saw 92 there from Bremer on the mound. We've seen a few guys with some high velocity. We saw both Braden Tucker and on the mound Jack Perkins for the Hoosiers both touched the 94-95 range.
Bremer. A nice hit out there, but it's caught in the air. What a spectacular catch by the shortstop Glasser. He climbed the ladder on that one. Wow.
And Philip Glasser, he's been one of the best defenders on this Hoosiers team all year. We've seen him show off his range. This time shows off his vertical. And great job from him there. That ball dumps in. Who knows what could happen with only 1 away. But here's a second out. And now Bremer on the mound's going to feel a lot more confident with his defense behind him.
Yeah, spectacular defensive play there for the Hoosiers. That gets them 2 outs. A little bit of breathing room now if you're IU and Bremer. First pitch is away, and that's going to be a strike. Catches him swinging. Up for the Wildcats right now is Alex Calarco, younger brother of Anthony Calarco, who's on first base right now. This season so far with 5 hits and 4 runs. The DH for today, and that ball is beamed out to left field. It'll bounce, and the Wildcats will advance as the Calarco brothers hold steady on first and second base.
Just good piece of hitting there. Bremer's been pounding the zone so far in this first inning, and all he does there, Calarco, gets it a little bit on the inside part of the bat off the fists, but just loops it. That's all he needs to get into the outfield and sets it up for the middle of their order.
Yeah, great hitter there. I mean, he's got a lot of size on him, 6'5", 235. We were watching him pregame. He has great contact and great power on that ball. The Indiana backcourt is what has been winning them games since she left. They might need to rely on that backcourt today as Cardonia Hillary drives baseline, looks to find Berger, takes a nice mid-range jumper and gets it to fall.
Indiana's living in the mid-range right now. They haven't been able to get anything in post or transition.
Kate Martin brings it up for the Hawkeyes. Swings it over to Warnock. Looking back underneath to Martin. No good. Ball's tipped out of bounds. That'll go Indiana's way.
Indiana needed that stop badly. If they want any chance of coming back in this game, I mean, they're really going to have to get going in transition, speed things up. I know I talked about earlier how they need to slow things down, but right now Iowa's just dominating the pace. They can't get anything going in the half court, IU.
Right now, Iowa's shooting at a 55% clip. Meanwhile, just a 31% clip for the Indiana Hoosiers as they look for Holmes underneath. Holmes backing down Sonano. She gets doubled by Clark. And they're going to call a travel on Holmes. She was being harassed on the inside. They brought that double team quick. Looked like she was frantically trying to get rid of it.
Yeah, crowd doesn't like it, but nevertheless, that's the whistle.
28-13 as Martin brings it up the floor. Berger on her up top. They immediately find Clark. Who else? Run a little pick and roll. They try and trap her up top. Makes her back off. Nothing there for offensive foul. Fantastic defense by Cardonia Hillary, just making things difficult for them.
Yeah, and the number standing out for Clark so far is 4 assists. So what that tells me is Cardonia Hillary's doing a pretty good job on her, but other than that, she just can't. IU's defenders just are lost. They're lost.
Cardonia Hillary trying to make something happen. One-on-one with Marshall. Gives it up to Pat Berg. Pat Berg taking on Clark. Finds Cardonia Hillary cutting back door, who swings it over to Holmes, but Holmes fumbles it. Ball goes out of bounds, but it'll stay with the Hoosiers. Tipped last by the Hawkeyes.
They're really trying to get the ball inside to Holmes and get her going.
And they have open looks down there. Holmes just needs to be a little bit stronger with the basketball almost. They inbound it to Pat Berg. Trying to get Berger free, and they'll find her. Top of the key. Running pick and roll with Gulbe. Fakes. Shoots. No good. Can't get it to go. Sonano comes down with the board. They'll give it up to Clark. They're going to try and push in transition. She likes what she sees as she attacks that lane. Scoops.
That would have been a tough shot.
Yeah, no good. Great defense there from Pat Berg as Berger now bringing it up the floor. Flips the court. Finds Pat Berg. Drives inside and gets the roll.
So Indiana gets out in transition, and right there you saw they had Clark out of position after the layup, and now Pat Berg gets a freebie after the and one.
Great find there from Grace Berger. Just flipped the court. Pat Berg attacked and got the and one. A steady free throw shooter as Chloe Moore McNeil checks in for Holmes. You can tell she's a little bit gassed out there.
Yeah, Morin giving her a talk on the bench right now. They elect to go small here. Morin does. So we'll see. I bet Iowa's going to try to take advantage of that with Sonano down low. I think you got to play Brown here if you're Morin and IU soon.
Moore McNeil, Pat Berg, Berger, Cardonia Hillary, and Gulbe in for the Hoosiers as Martin flips one up and no good. Moore McNeil comes down with a basketball. They're looking for Pat Berg in transition. She gets it up and in.
Speeding them up, Joe.
Another and one for Pat Berg.
They're speeding them up, Joe, and you see why. Pat Berg up and down the court all over the place. She's been IU's best player tonight, and another foul is called.
Allie Pat Berg doing a fantastic job moving in transition, filling the lane, and finishing through contact. It's a 28-18 game with 7:30 remaining in the second. Pat Berg to have one at the line. And at Memorial Stadium, it's IU hosting number 5 Ohio State under the lights. First quarter, Jack Tuttle got the start. He finds Peyton Hendershot. 7-yard touchdown, game knotted at 7. But this got ugly early in Bloomington. Buckeyes having their way at the Rock. First, it's Travion Henderson scampering in for a 21-yard score. Ohio State back out in front. And Henderson never let up off the gas. This is one from 6 yards out, his third score of the half. Buckeyes up 37 at the break. Hoosiers blown out in front of a sellout crowd at home. Final score 54-7. And to South Bend, number 13, Notre Dame facing off against rival USC. First quarter, Irish strike first. Jack Cohn reads Avery Davis on the crossing route. 4-yard touchdown, Notre Dame on the board first, 7-zip. Notre Dame leading in the second. Kyron Williams caps off a 75-yard drive, punching it in from 5 yards out. One of 2 scores he had on the night. A season high 138 on 28 carries for the junior. help the Irish hang on for a SoCal fourth quarter rally. They win 31-16. Jags 4th and 9. Zaire Franklin busts into the backfield and blocks the punt. Ball is scooped up by E.J. Speed, who uses some strength to get into the end zone. Colts with a 10-0 lead early in the first. And we cut to 1st and goal for the Colts, still in the first. Jonathan Taylor stuffed at the 2-yard line, but it's Quentin Nelson and company that push him into the end zone, able to help the Colts get their second touchdown. Jonathan Taylor's been hot as of late, getting another TD there. But the Jags not tapping out quite yet. Jamal Agnew taking the carry, and he's going to take this one to the house, 66 yards. Talk to me, Colts. How'd the back of my shoes look? Jamal Agnew getting into the end zone, putting the Jags on the board. Now 2nd and goal, Jags trying to rally. Here's James Robinson, right up the gut, 1 yard out, dives over the line into the end zone. Jaguars trying to make a little run. Here they go for 2. Lawrence flips it in to Dan Arnold for a nice shovel pass. 2-point conversion is good, but it's not enough for Jacksonville as the Colts hang on and get the win 23-17. What's going on, Hoosier fans? I'm Joe Brennan, bringing you this Wednesday edition of the Hoosier Report. Let's roll. I think it's safe to say that we're a basketball school. Just 2 weeks out from the start of the season and anticipation is building. Coach Woodson and the Hoosiers look to bounce back this year after a disappointing stint with Archie Miller. Just this past week, Trace Jackson Davis, Indiana star forward, was named a preseason first-team All-American and added to the Karl Malone Award watch list. On top of that, Ja'Kai Newton, a 4-star combo guard out of the class of 23, signed with Indiana. This is the 3rd commitment from a 4-star recruit that Coach Woodson has received since signing in late March. And on to volleyball. Coach Aird and the Hoosiers had been on a tough losing streak as of late, struggling to keep up with the top dogs in the Big Ten. However, on Sunday, the Hoosiers found themselves in a nail-biter against Rutgers and were able to come out with a win 3-2. Brianna Edwards was the star of the show as she finished with a career-high 27 kills. Edwards finished with the last 5 points in the 5th set with 3 blocks and 2 kills to seal the deal for the Hoosiers. Starting off with the women's squad. Women's team traveled up to Illinois to take on the Fighting Illini on Wednesday. Still no Mackenzie Holmes, but no problem for Mourning the Hoosiers at all. Allie Patberg came out hot in this one, scoring 21 points in the first half. This left the Hoosiers up 30 at the break. With the Hoosiers up big at half, this allowed Morin to look deeper into her bench. Caitlin Peterson had 18 minutes on the night and finished with 11 points. Chloe Moore McNeil also added in 9 of her own. Hoosiers get the win 93-61. Big Ten tournament just less than 3 weeks away. And on to a little bit of men's hoops. We all know the story by now. Coach Woodson sitting 5 players, including 2 starters, just 15 minutes before tip-off. While the violation of the team rules was still up in the air, a little bit of speculation, ESPN reports that it was a curfew violation that caused the 5 players to miss the game. However, luckily for Hoosier fans, all 5 players will be returning in cream and crimson this weekend to face the 17th-ranked Michigan State Spartans.